Shalom, this is New Yeshurun Israel, Hebrew on the Island 2. This is Genesis 14 highlights and Torah reading. But guess what? I made a mistake. I thought I wrote because I write all my videos, I thought I wrote Genesis 14. I didn't. And it's getting night here. So I'm going to bypass the highlights and we're going to just do the Torah readings together. Genesis chapter 14. And remember, like I told you in my last video, usually the viewership on the highlights, the Torah reading and highlights are low, and I know why they're low, because a lot of the people don't have a true love to hear the word of the Most High and immersed in the Most High. The famine of the word is coming. Eat the scroll. So eating the scroll is just not watching other videos. It's actually getting to the nitty-gritty, which is the total and actual Bible readings. Okay, Genesis chapter 14, Abraham rescues Lot. Remember in Genesis chapter 13, Abraham and Lot separated because their herds were too big and they needed to prosper, so they needed to separate. Now in the reading that we're going to do today, Genesis chapter 14, Abraham rescues Lot. And we're going to see why. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arak, king of Esar, Sedorlaomer, king of Elam, and excuse me for the pronunciation of these kings' names, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Berish, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemamber, these names are crazy, king of Zeboam, and the king of Bela, which is Zor. All these were joined together in Vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Chedorlaomer. In the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year came Chedorlaomer and the kings that were with him, and smote the Raphaim in Astaroth, Carnelium, and the Zuzim in Ham, and the Eman in Shepheh Karathman, and the Horites in the Mount Seir and El Param, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to In Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in Hazan Tamar. And there went out the kings of Sodom, and the kings of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboam, and the king of Bela, the same as Zor. And they joined battle with them in the Vale of Siddim, with Chedorlaomer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and I.S.U.P.K, king of Elasar, 4 kings with 5. And listen, for anybody that's going to try to make fun of me, say, oh, he butchered those names. Well, let me see you do better. Read Genesis chapter 14 and let me hear you pronounce these kings' names. And the Vale of Siddim, I would have called everybody like Jack, Joe, John, like easy names. And the Vale of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the king of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there. And they that remained fled into the mountains. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plains of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Anar, and there were confederate with Abraham. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants born in his own house 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them, and pursued them until Hobab, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. Melchizedek blesses Abram. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and the king that were with him at the valley of Shavah, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High Elohim, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High Elohim, which hath delivered thine enemies into thy hands. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, Give me the persons, and take the goods to thyself. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Most High Elohim, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from the thread even to the shoe latch, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abraham rich. Save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Anar, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion. That was Genesis chapter 14. I know I butchered a lot of those kings' names, but hey, I tried. Melchizedek was mentioned in Genesis chapter 14, which is a highlight. I know some people got questions about Melchizedek and king of Sodom, etc., etc. That's for another time. Hope you enjoy the reading of Genesis chapter 14. Always eat of the scroll. Remember Isaiah 34, it says, Seek ye out of the Most High and read, and all these things shall be added unto you. So that's paraphrasing Isaiah 34. The Most High wants us to read. While we have time to read before the famine, enjoy his law and the prophet reading. The law and the Nevi'im. Until next time, next time.